Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Ivy What's Going On podcast. I'm Arielle,
I'm Gregory.
I'm Heather.
And I'm Aiden.
and today we'll be talking about Group 6 subjects,
Woohoo!
mainly about art and music. So,
Yay.
yes, what? So, we do not have a guest for music because it's really hard to find and like almost no one takes music.
It's like two people.
Yeah. But we do have a very special guest. Okay, not really guest, but yes.
I'm not a guest anymore. I have
she's not a
elevated
guest
my
anymore.
status.
She's so special.
I have
guys.
powered up. This is my evolution phase.
Yes, it's Heather who takes HR art.
Yay!
Okay. Yes. Okay, now
You wanna talk about Group 6, what it is first?
Group 6 is basically like the arts,
The arts category.
the arts category. So it's like dance, music, visual arts, film, theatre.
That's
and
it, right?
Stuff like that.
That's it,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Yeah, but usually most people take music and art
Yes.
because it's the most common. For music, I got this from a senior in year 6 who takes HR music now. Yes.
Oh yeah. Just one thing we need to say, like, you know how in the beginning when we choose our subjects, they can choose either a second subject from group 4 or
Yes.
group 3?
Okay, yes. So basically, you have 6 groups of subjects, right? Art and music is group 6. So like for the other people who don't take group 6 subjects, they can replace it with either a humanities subject like econs,
Geography.
history, business management, or you can replace it with another science. Yes, so that's what people usually do instead of taking art and music. Yes.
But
Yes.
if for some reason you want to take art and music, I don't know why you would.
If for some reason you thought that IB was too easy,
Yeah. If you think IB is like not a challenge, then you can go and go on take these
I
subjects.
would no, but I would say that the science subjects are more challenging.
It depends.
As
it
an
differs from
art
person to
student, all right?
person.
As an art student. But yes.
Bias in the production of
What?
TOK.
Okay. Yes, I am
You
biased.
can listen to our TOK podcast so if you would like to learn more about bias in the production.
Did we talk about that? I don't think.
I don't remember.
no, we did not.
Anyway, so HL music. So there are 3 technically it's 4 components, but the last one is a HL component. Yes, so firstly it's exploration. It's basically you delve into like different cultural music practices and you learn about something that's like unfamiliar to you. So you have to do a creating exercise inspired by one of the styles of whatever foreign piece that you choose. Like it's basically like a stimulus. Is adapting, so basically you mimic the style and timbre of that cultural music and its practices.
What's timber?
What's a timbre?
If you're a music student, you would know what timbre is.
What is timber?
What's a crescendo?
I don't know how to.
Oh my
I don't know
gosh.
how to describe what timbre is.
Is it vibe?
Side note, I took MEP. Timbre is like the sound.
No.
Like
Let me Google for you.
the sound, the tone quality. stuff
Wait,
like
no.
You just
Yeah,
said music is music.
Look, our editor is judging you.
that. Anyway, so like for example,
Okay, wait. Come, editor.
Editor, what's
Enlighten
timber?
us.
Okay, so timbre is.
Is it timber or timber?
Okay, actually, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced timbre. So basically, it's like what I should say is the tonal quality. It's the sound color of the music. So for
Sound
example,
has
you can-
color.
Yes. Because sound is
oh,
made
it's
up.
timbre. What the heck? I've been pronouncing
Yeah, it's
it
made
wrong
up of a
all my
whole
life.
different range of frequencies. So you can tell apart a C from a guitar and a C from a violin
Yes.
because it sounds different.
Yes.
Because they're different timbres.
Yes.
Do you want to sit in and like add on?
I'm scared the thing's going to clip, but sure.
Okay, anyways, let me continue. Like for example, for this adapting exercise, if you're playing a baroque piece, then since baroque pieces they only had like harpsichords in the past.
What's a barak
Did
piece?
she say Barack?
Do you not? Oh my.
Barack Obama.
Okay, you're not a history student, but alright
Okay,
then.
anyways.
She said Barack Obama. Did I hear?
Barak piece.
No, Baroque.
Oh, Baroque.
Baroque, one of the best okay, not romantic. Romantic's a different
What?
era.
Classic.
It's
Sorry,
like
I only know that
Okay,
guy
let me
that wrote
continue.
that daffodil poem. I forgot his name.
daffodil.
Okay,
Okay.
nice. Let me continue. So basically, since harpsichords, they didn't have like as wide a range of like pitch and dynamics, and like pianos, like they didn't have like pedals and stuff. So basically, like since they don't have like pedals and like the strings are like, you know, bleh, you know what a harpsichord,
What?
you know what a harpsichord sounds like.
No, what's a harpsichord?
For music students, they know what a harpsichord
Sing
is.
it now.
Yeah.
I can't sing it. A harpsichord is an instrument.
Is it that stretchy thing? Then you play the keys.
No,
It's
that's
an accordion.
Oh.
A harpsichord is like one of the earliest versions of the piano.
This is a harpsichord.
Yes.
That's just a piano.
So basically, the notes were
Is
hard
it-
to sustain.
Bro.
And so for example, on the piano, you won't use the pedal to like mimic the
It's actually a
harpsichord
piano.
sound. It's not a piano. It sounds different.
It
And-
plucks the strings, right?
Yeah, it's because piano it is like a hammer on the string, but harpsichord plucks the string.
Oh, so like
You know,
piano is
pianos-
Yes,
percussion.
yes, I
Piano is
understand.
percussion. Harpsichord is more like
It's debatable. Yes.
it's okay.
yes.
We won't go into the debate.
And since
we are-
harpsichords,
I don't
you
understand
can't play
music.
like dynamics, so you can't play a gradual crescendo to a louder section for like on the piano.
What is crescendo?
So you have to do like terrace dynamics and stuff like that on your piano. And so yes, that's exploration.
Isn't terrace a house?
Is this a paper one?
Yes, it's similar to
It's
that
just
idea.
3 different aspects of what they have to learn and do. I don't know what paper. I guess it's paper 1. I'm not very sure.
I included the
Yes,
papers.
anyways, the second aspect is experimentation. So basically, you try out different ways of playing and performing. So like you like use different textures, different timbre, different harmonies, different rhythm, and basically different aspects that make up the basic composition of a musical piece. So it's like creating music, and like they also cover like different spectrums of music. So there's like different areas of inquiry, like TOK. So there's like music expressing some sort of identity, like national anthems, church psalms. The second one is like artistic qualities, so like just normal like classical music. It usually comes up under this. And the third one is music serving some sort of purpose, usually in like entertainment, like
Does-
musical music, music accompanying ballet, and like praise and worship
That's
music.
the Among Us theme song.
Oh my god, Aiden!
I'm not very sure about that.
So this is like coursework experimentation.
I would assume so. And the last one is music tech. So like EDM and like creating your own loops and arranging music using like MIDI, I don't know how to pronounce
MIDI.
it.
Isn't it MIDI?
MIDI, yes, okay.
Yeah.
So you like deal with unfamiliar regions and elements. Like you choose pieces that serve as stimuli for creating new excerpts that help you gain a new outlook, like opening a different dimension to this composition technique.
You're opening the nether
what's that
portal in your compositional technique.
No, so let me give you an example. So like for texture, normally it's like homophonic, polyphonic.
Sorry, why is there?
You guys got
No,
hearing
there's an
problem.
N. There's an N.
Music is
Maybe enunciate a little, you know.
Homophonic and polyphonic. Yes. So basically, like, if you want to open up a different dimension, you put this on the violin and talk about texture in terms of the way that you play it. So like, if you use like 2 violins,
We're opening up
2 people
I
use
still understand how music opens up a dimension.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
if you use 2 violins, you use the bow to play both at the same time. It produces a certain sound. Then if
Wait,
you
you're
use,
playing?
You're using one bow to play.
no, like if there are two violins and there are two people playing two violins. If you both use the bow, it will produce a certain sound. If one person uses the bow, one person uses plucking, but they're playing the same note. And then if one uses and then if one uses plucking, one uses bowing, and they play different notes. They all have different sounds and timbres. So it basically transcends restrictions in another form.
Oh, okay. Makes sense, yeah.
I think
So
this
adding a-
episode should be called me and Greg and Aiden don't know what.
It's just Arielle and I trying to
Your
understand.
editor now.
And our dear editor stepping
Yes.
in.
Okay.
Oh, our editor, you want to introduce yourself? You didn't introduce yourself.
Oh, hi, I'm Darren.
Hi, okay, everyone go around the table and say hi, Darren. Hi, Darren.
Okay, our third aspect, which is presenting. This is the most straightforward. It's very easy to understand. So basically, you just compose a piece and perform it. Yeah.
Wow.
It's what, according to my senior, this is essentially what people mistake we only do in class, which is not true. Yes. So that's basically it for the third aspect. And then you have the fourth one, which is for HL only. So yes, it got cancelled for this year 6ers. But basically you organize a performance. It can be hypothetical. You don't need to actually do it. But you have to show preparation stages of how you got the people together, you practice and arranging logistics and admin stuff, and basically the steps leading up to the performance. And so basically they want to see the creation process and and they want to emphasize on findings and thoughts and personal inputs, personal takes on the performance pieces. Why did you do this way? How do you interpret the piece and stuff like that? And even some personal aspects, for example, my senior's doing something about praise and worship and psalms in church because she's a Catholic and she's familiar with these types of music. Or for other people, it could be they grew up in a family of opera singers or something. Yes.
High class, bougie.
Dude,
Yes.
That's a very rich
it's international
family.
baccalaureate. It's very likely that there's somebody out there.
For my senior, since that's not true for her, the opera singer thing is not true for her, that would be a local or global region because she's not familiar with it and she's not connected to it in her life. So yes, that is music.
But who can certifiably say that you're not a descendant of the Pussy though?
Let's not go there.
But what if I say I'm from Britain? Then I can start doing theatre music.
What?
Wait, so the whole entire thing you can just do I go to church, so I'm gonna play in church. Done. How do I get people
What if you
going to
smoke your
church?
background?
Now what if you just smoke your background? What are you gonna do? Do a background check? Ask you to do a $90 DNA test?
Do you really want to risk it when your entire diploma
Yeah,
relies
exactly.
on it?
I mean, you can probably grab people from a church. I'm actually kind of involved in this. One of the music students is inviting me to go play the violin for his performance. Yes.
Dang,
Are you plucking or are you stringing?
it's not called stringing.
Bowing. I don't know, bowing?
Bowing.
Bowing.
Boing.
Boing.
I guess it depends on the piece. He didn't give me the piece yet, so I'm not really sure yet.
Are you opening a new dimension?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so yeah, basically, to take HL music or music in general, I think there's a diagnostic test that you have to take. So it's not
for
if
our
you-
school but
for
I don't know
our
if
school.
our
I don't know about other
ex-school.
schools, but yes. Anyways, then what's that called? But you can't I've never touched a musical instrument in my entire life, and I want to take HL music. It's not possible. Yes.
I think you can take SL music though.
The difference
Right?
between HR and SL
You would have a
is
pretty hard time though.
Yeah, it would be difficult, but you can. It's
Once again,
normal.
just play to your strengths.
Yeah.
Play the music instrument?
Shut up. If for some reason you have a great passion for music,
Yes.
I don't know why, but sure, pop off, then go take music.
Yes, for example, my senior, when I was asking her whether I should take music or not, I think she said something because she didn't take music in secondary school, but she decided to take music in IB.
Wait, she didn't take O-level music?
No.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't think so. If I remember correctly, she didn't. Anyway, so like she said she wanted to take it because she liked music a lot, so she took it. But since I took MEP and like I like the subject, I just don't like studying it. So in the end, I didn't take music.
What about you?
Then you love HL music. Because there are no exams, right?
No, like I don't.
Like,
And I'm really bad at like creating also. Like I was super bad at like composing in like MEP.
Then Darren, what was your reason for not taking HR music?
because if you want to take music, you can't take an extra subject from the sciences or the
Yeah, that
humanities.
also. Because I wanted to do bio and chem. But
Yeah,
you can't do
same.
that.
Because you both want to do bio and chem.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, but then I can't take music. Yeah.
Wait, but you would score the same for both chem and music.
What? You're
What?
so mean!
Maybe she'll score better for music. You never know.
No, maybe she will.
Yeah, I think she would.
Like TLDR, if you don't mind getting a 39 point for IB, you should take music.
Okay, anyway.
Anyways,
what about
yes.
A-level music?
A-level music. From what I read from the syllabus, because I don't actually know anyone who takes A-level music, it looks like it's the same as as like MEP, but I might be wrong because like they learn for 2022 they learn Malay dance music, Chinese solo instrumental music, Carnatic and Hindustani string music, music in America, and the concerto.
Music in America.
And I think only music in America is different from what you learn in MP, but like, yeah. And you have performing, which is 40%. And then you have like music writing, which is,
Coursework.
yeah, you basically compose stuff.
That sounds exactly like what we have. Exploration and composition.
Yeah, no, it's different. Like you have like a stimulus and stuff. I think, if I'm not wrong. And then music. Yes, that's about it for H2 music. Yes, I don't actually know what the difference is.
H1 music.
Who takes H1 music?
Who takes music?
Oh my gosh.
Let's continue with the visual arts.
Oh, it's my turn, yes.
Yes, it's Heather's turn.
Yay.
Bye, Darren.
Bye, Darren. Oh,
Bye,
Darren,
music
Darren.
nerd.
He's gone. Okay.
Imagine studying 10 years of your life to take it by going PCME and A-levels.
What?
Let's not comment about that.
Anyway.
They can live their own life. Yes,
Anyway.
continue.
Visual arts. Okay, so I will start off with, I think the best would be to start off with what I know first from O-levels, and then we go on to that. In O-levels, I took O-level art, pure bio, pure chem, and elective literature, all the good stuff.
Whoa. Elective literature.
Hello, okay. It helps me in Langlet now, alright?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I want to start off with like talking about O-level art first. If you are taking O-level art, you would probably know this already. If you do not, and you want to take art in JC, you would be at a slight disadvantage, which is why I'm going to talk about O-level art first. So O-level art, if you are taking O-level art, you know that there is a compulsory paper 1, which is basically your coursework that you start in January and you end in August or September. I can't remember anymore.
That sounds so fun.
It's 8 months, yeah.
Sorry.
You choose one stimuli from like 6 different stimuli, and then you use that as your theme, and then you make your prep boards, and then you make one big piece at the end of it, which is kind of fun, but it's also kind of not fun. And then for O-level art, you get to choose between paper 2 and paper 3, which paper 2 is basically a mini version of paper 1, but you do it under 3 weeks instead.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a really short time frame.
Yeah, it's quite short, and it's like the last paper that like it's my second last paper, I think. The last paper is bio paper 1 for O-levels. So it's like near the end. So that means, and I had to do like lit during that time also, lit paper. So, yeah. Yeah, and then you have, or you can choose paper 3, which I think, okay, I didn't choose paper 3. Paper 3 is theory.
My friend chose that.
Paper 3 is basically you study 24 artists, such as
24.
24 artists, and you don't know which artist is going to come out. So there are artists local and overseas, such as Han Sai-po, Chomyati, Ng Teng, Georgette Chen, Liu Kang, all these, Afandi, and all
no
those.
idea what you just said.
Okay, all the art students out here would probably know. The keyword is probably.
I heard Longkang. That's what
Not. It's Liu Kang. It's Liu Kang. And then you can learn like obviously the big names like Frida Kahlo, Pablo Picasso. Basically, you have to study these 24 artists, and you have to answer. It's a theory paper again. Yeah, so it's structured questions, and you have to do a structured comparison question.
Sounds like art history.
Yes, I didn't take this one because my teacher said that you have more control on what you do for paper 2. So that's O-level art, and there's O-level higher art, which is basically everything I just said, plus one more paper, which is a visual arts task that I believe, from what my junior said and what my friend who took higher art said, is like an exhibition write-up. And you're supposed to submit a report of 1,200 to 1,500 words. So it's like a little essay. That's graded, obviously. Okay, why I cover O-level art is because if you want to talk about IB versus A-level art, it's pretty important. I'm just going to talk about IB art first.
Yes, go.
IB art. So I take HL art. HL art has the same number of papers as SL art. So the only difference is the amount of things that we do is more. So there is your PP, which is called process portfolio. Don't laugh! You guys are so immature.
I love how we just collectively started laughing.
I know, okay, but to be fair, my art classmates always laugh when we say PP too. So, but your process portfolio, if you take O-level art or higher art, you would know this as your prep pots. It is basically collecting evidence of your experimentation, exploration, manipulation, refinement over the course of your 2 years. Oh, if you didn't know, right, IB art starts immediately once you come into school. Like your exam starts now. It's in like January. Yeah. That's why we don't have like written papers. Our exams,
Your exams start in like next year January.
No, it started last year January. No, not last year. Sorry. This year's January.
But
Yes.
you weren't even in school.
You didn't select your subject
I'm
yet.
taking January as in like the beginning of the year. Yeah, we did enter in February, so it's technically started in February. So.
But you didn't choose your subject yet.
Shush. Anyway, it's so you have to detail your process of making your artworks. There's many artworks that you have to make. For SL, you have to complete like 9 to 18 pages for your PP, and then your HL you have to complete 13 to 25 pages. So there's a difference, and then we have that. And the PP is supposed to go along with your exhibition. Your exhibition is a literal exhibition. Think about National Gallery, all those art exhibitions that are on display and they're on the walls.
That's so cool.
It's cool, right? Yeah. And that is supposed to be your internal assessment. So we don't have like IAs like the science does where you conduct experiments or anything. Our internal assessment is the exhibition where you display all your completed works at the end of your 2-year journey. So your exhibition has to have around 4 to 7 pieces for SL, and there's 8 to 11 HL pieces. So that's the minimum. For during COVID year, they cut down the number, but now it's like back to normal. So I have to complete at least 8 pieces. It's preferable that you complete more, obviously, because if you send it,
More marks if you complete more.
no, but if you complete more, you get a choice. So the ones that you did earlier on may not be of very good quality. So you get to choose the ones that are the best quality instead of having to like fit the minimum number. So you completed 9 and you have to have 8, right? At least 8. You're gonna have to pick one that is not of good quality, which is gonna bring your marks down. So yeah. So that is PP and exhibition. You might be wondering, does this have any similarities to O-level where you get to pick a stimuli or theme? No, you don't have. IB doesn't give you a theme.
Wow.
And they say that you don't need a theme.
So you just plug anything from your brain.
Yes, but there needs to be a relationship between all the artworks. So it's always about issue.
No.
But it's quite interesting. So you don't get a theme. You make your own theme. Yeah.
Sounds so horrible.
It's fun. Cause okay, my
So
theme.
sadistic.
But you have like
So
this-
No, it's
masochistic.
interesting. Okay, look, it's interesting, alright. Art is interesting.
Keep saying it till you believe it.
Aiden. But it's interesting in the fact that, for example, you may be very interested in some aspect of identity. My friend is doing female identity, and her
Feminism.
yeah, it deals a lot with feminism. She's exploring topics like that. She's exploring stereotypes, stuff that interests her. Yeah, so her artwork is based on that, and it really goes in depth. Like, I love art lessons because it makes me think. For me, my theme is on internalization. My theme isn't like, oh, I came into school after my teacher said, come up with a theme. Then I say, internalize it. No, it goes through many rounds. Like, initially it was memories. Then I had to broaden out. I had to take a step back because it was constricting me too much. So your theme is like to guide you. It's not meant to confine you, which is why IB doesn't give you a theme. But it's meant to guide you and to make you think. And it really makes you think about all sorts of things, you know. It's like TOK but more philosophical in some areas.
TOK with more K.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. But it does help you. Like, if you take art and you enjoy art, you would eventually, even as a hobby or not as a subject, you would eventually know that at some point art deals a lot with what is going around in the world. It deals a lot of global issues. That's what art does in society. It helps create us. Why are you shaking your head?
Like, even history deals more with society than art.
You do realize that art is part of history, right?
That's like saying anything drawn is art, which is technically true, but then it's also not really true.
I would challenge you on that assumption because art has some way of conveying thoughts and images and ideas better than words does in some areas.
Sounds like you.
My diagram of my experimental setup is art.
No,
My diagram of the monopolistic curve is an art.
no. But anyway, yeah. So that's the fun part about art. And then the last part is
Did you
comparative
just say
study.
art and fun in the same sentence?
Hello, you are not taking art. You don't get to say that.
You take HL.
I could.
They are diametrically opposed. You cannot have sanity, fun, and art all together. You have to sacrifice a few.
No.
You take HL math. Can't say anything.
Hello?
Anyway,
Anyways, yes.
the last one is comparative studies. This part starts to talk more about art history. So what it does is you have to compare at least 3 different artworks by at least 2 different artists, and your commentary has to be around 10 to 15 pages for both SL and HL.
This is an art IA.
No,
This sounds.
I just said that
Exhibition.
I was exhibition. Were you not listening?
Sorry.
Ah, boy.
I thought that was PP.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, your HL, the only difference is that you have to reflect on the extent to which the artist that you are investigating has impacted and influenced the art that you make. So that's the only difference. I like comparative studies because it's very interesting. It talks about art history and all the different artists, and you can delve into what makes their art work. So that's considered foremost qualities. If you took art in O levels, you would have heard the term SOVA, study of visual arts. It's basically that.
So far.
SOVA.
Study of visual arts. SOV.
Oh, so far from Valorant.
Oh my god.
Okay, so what you're telling me is, I look at artworks and I overthink them.
No, you don't overthink them. You dissect them.
What you're telling me is,
Example.
You smoke a
you
meaning.
smoke 10 to 15 pages about 3 artworks.
You know how literature is like...
Not pages, not pages.
What? You said
Okay, the way we write our comparative study is think your Google slides.
So
That
15
is the
slides.
format. It's like 15 slides, which is for my school, it is the minimum size font is 9. I really want it to be 8, but you cannot read anything in its size 8 because you have about this.
So you're doing a size 9 PowerPoint.
Yeah, and it's very in-depth. I can show you what my thing looks like. But I can also, okay, I'll give you an example. The current artists I am studying are Yayoi Kusama and Chuck Close. If you do not know who Chuck Close and Yayoi...
The first person is...
You know? Yes. But okay, Yayoi Kusama is what the average person would refer to as the crazy polka dot lady.
What?
Look.
Okay, if you do not know how to pronounce and spell her name, it's Yayoi Kusama. And she's
You know who
very
she is.
amazing. She's an amazing
Because
artist.
I read Wikipedia.
That was the saddest sentence I've ever heard. I read Wikipedia.
She came to Singapore like a couple years ago,
That's so
and
cool.
she's a famous artist, like really, really famous artist. So this was an example of what I would be doing for my comparative studies. It is very chunky.
That's so cool.
And it's in depth. Basically, there's 3 sections for each artwork: formal analysis, function and purpose, and cultural significance. So this is the artwork I'm doing right now, and this is the other artwork I'm also doing by Chuck Close.
It's basically a picture of a face. For the listeners.
It is a self-portrait done in abstract style where he creates a tiled grid and he transforms each part of the grid into an abstract painting.
It's so cool.
And when you step back, it becomes a face.
Yes, that's so cool.
Aidan, you know Breaking Bad, Walter White?
Yeah.
You look exactly the same.
I was gonna say.
But the reason why comparative studies is so interesting to me is because coming from O-level art and I didn't set paper 3, right? That means I have zero knowledge of theory or any SOVA when I came into IB. It's so interesting because it opens up a new dimension of art that you can view art and actually appreciate it. Like, you don't just look at art and go, oh, pretty. Now I can actually go, it's pretty because of this. And like, it becomes so much more because, from all the artists out there, if you have heard this, putting your artwork on display is kind of putting up yourself on display. Because in a sense, you always impart some form of yourself into your work. And that is so interesting because when you learn about comparative study, you get to learn about what these artists, what their lives are technically, what drove them to make these artworks. Not just in their personal life, but also in like the life and the society that surrounds them. For example, Guernica for Pablo Picasso. If anybody knows that was during the Spanish.
Greta Thunberg, what?
No! How did you get Greta Thunberg?
I don't know, I heard Greta.
It's Guernica.
This thing.
Guernica by Pablo Picasso.
I was gonna use it for my TOK object.
Of course, it's a very popular piece. A lot of people will use it actually. But basically, it's a Spanish Civil War piece. And you can contrast that with Soft Construction of Baked Beans by...
Baked beans?
Yeah, it's very strange. Soft
The
Construction.
Campbell thing.
No, this is by Salvador Dali.
Oh, the money heist guy.
Oh, Soft Construction.
He is the money heist guy.
Only appreciation of art is Netflix.
Where is it?
The only other art painting that I know
Oh, Soft Construction of
is
Wild
the
Greens.
Viva La Vida because I saw it on the Coldplay album.
Let me try to find an image. Okay, there we go. Soft Construction with Boiled Beans by Salvador Dali. Both of
What's
these...
the baked beans?
There's no... Okay, the whole point is both of them are talking about the Spanish Civil War because they were brilliant artists within the same time frame. So you have Pablo Picasso dealing with Cubism and Salvador Dali dealing with Surrealism. And this one basically talks about the horrifying acts that happened in Spanish Civil War. So that's why it's so interesting because you get to learn about these artists, these famous artists. Like, you know about Vincent van Gogh, you know about Mona Lisa, you know about Leonardo da Vinci, but do you actually know them? Or do you just know what they did?
Okay.
No!
Yeah, yes. But that is comparative studies and portfolio. So when I talk about all this is like the stuff that's graded for IB that you start doing in your year 5. Meaning that there are no written papers for art. At all. So you look at my end of year exam schedule, there's no art there. I only have 5 subjects I'm tested on.
Good for you.
Good for me.
You know what I have? A history exam that ends at 4 p.m. and I have a physics exam the next day.
Nice. Good for you.
You know what I have? One extra day of geography when all of you are asleep.
Loser.
But yes, so that's the advantage. The disadvantage obviously is what Darren and Arielle have mentioned. You don't get to take an extra science subject or a human subject, which I am fine with. I do not care. So
Differs from person to person.
it definitely does. I know a lot of there are 7 people in my art class. There are varying degrees of how they take their humans and like science. Like there are, I believe, 3 people taking HL chemistry. I'm taking HL bio. And then I know one person is taking SL bio and another person is taking SL physics. Like the last person, I do not know what they take. I'm just like, what do you take? I do not know at all. I don't know, but I think it's chemistry. But yes, so when you're talking about maybe this is something that is interesting because I'm going to talk about A-level art now.
Wait, before you go there, can you tell us more about Art EE?
Oh yeah, Art EE, right. I take Art EE, which is a different EE because there's only 4 people taking Art EE.
She's hashtag different, guys.
Oh my gosh, Aiden. Okay, but Art EE is basically, you get to choose either A, writing about an exhibition, or B, writing about architecture. So I chose an exhibition. The exhibition I'm doing is actually still ongoing right now. I'm going to go back there again after this recording to go look at some of the artworks I need to go and analyze, which is Ever Present. It's an exhibition at National Gallery. It's on Aboriginal Australian artwork, which basically details, and it shows many beautiful art pieces of the Aboriginal Australians, what they made and their history. So my basically talks about these, the history, how it affects them. And I analyze at least 3 to 5 artworks from this exhibition. It's like your comparative studies, but it's a bit more in-depth. And you do 5 artworks instead, obviously. If you are interested, and I highly recommend you go check it out, I believe it's closing on the 22nd of September, so I do not know when this episode will be aired, but if it's aired by then.
I don't think it'll be aired by then.
Oh no!
It's closing on the 25th of September.
Oh, 25th. Oh well. But it's a really good exhibition, and I think it's one of the more interesting ones. So that's my EE. My friend is doing one on architecture, IMP. IMP is, if you do not know, the architect that designed the Louvre in France, Paris.
She's not doing the blocky, stacky building. You know that one?
It's a he. Yeah, he's doing IMP. Art EE is a bit interesting because you have to look at the exhibitions around you and you go there and you see them and you go, do I want to write about this exhibition? And there's also difficulties. For example, if you choose an artist that's very hard to find research on, like secondary research, you're not going to have a good time. And if you also need to contact your curators of the exhibition, ask them, hold an interview in November. So
That's a lot of work.
it's a lot of work, yeah. Yeah, and I have my 50% due on Monday, and I haven't even started writing yet, but
That sounds so fun.
it sounds, fun.
You're interviewing somebody's smoke to go and smoke about their smoke.
No, this person is actually, knowledgeable. Hello?
That's what
It's
everybody
No,
says.
she's the curator of the exhibition. She's from Australia.
No, but every single person
Aussie.
will be smoking their entire life.
Maybe you, but not other people.
Cigar.
Anyway, you might be wondering, okay, IB art sounds interesting, but it sounds like a lot because you have to make a lot of artworks, right? 8 to 11 pieces of artwork. Oh, and talking about that, you get to do a lot of different stuff. For example, in my O-level art, I did watercolor, a lot of watercolor. But now I'm here, I have done crochet, knitting kind of installation works and like wire sculptures and so many things. Like I've used natural stuff to make my medium. And I have a senior, he did paper cutting. So his paper cutting installation is huge. It spans like, I believe, at least 1.5 meters. Wow. And it's at least 1 meter tall. It's amazing. It's a huge bird and it's very gorgeous.
A bird?
It's a bird. It's a paper cut bird.
What bird?
Phoenix.
Whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if I burn it, will it come back?
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you get to experiment. You get to do clay. If you've never done clay before, you get to do
I hate clay.
That's so
fashion.
fun.
No, it explodes in the oven.
I think
Why are
you're
you
making
putting
that
it in
clay.
the oven?
You put air dry clay into the oven.
You need to put the clay in the oven for it
You
to
put
harden.
air dry clay in the oven. It's not an oven, it's a kiln.
Same thing.
It's
Fire,
different.
hot.
It's different.
It's an oven.
Anyways, yes.
Yes. But you get to do like sculptures, you get to do installation work, you get to do large scale pieces. Like right now, I'm currently gonna do a new studio. This is what we refer to our artworks, and it's a large triptych watercolor, which is 1.5 meters in height, and it is 2 meters in length, or almost 2
That's so
meters.
big.
It's huge, yeah. And I wouldn't be able to do this if in like O levels or A levels. Which, speaking of A levels, there's H1, H2, and H3 art. If you are thinking, maybe I want my contrasting human subject to be H1 art, which not a lot of people would take, it's basically one theory paper. And it's very sad. It's your SOVA, and it's 3 hours. And it's basically the paper 3 from O-level art, but more questions. And it's also the same thing. You have to look at like these artists and write about them. You have to study them and write about them. Okay, so most people wouldn't take H1 art. You would take H2 art. What's H2 art? Basically, O-level art. Again.
So fun.
But you have a compulsory paper 1 of SOVA, which is 3 hours again. And your coursework is the same as O-level art, where you make your work over a span of a couple months. You do like your prep boards, and then you make this one huge artwork. So I had a chance to go and visit one of the JCs. I shall not name it because I do not know if I'll get repercussions for that. But I managed to go visit, and they are obviously taking the A-level track. And you see their artworks. These artworks are like really high end. They get to do film, which is a form of art in that case. And they get to, a lot of them do painting. You can do fashion as well. So it's very much O-level geared, where you, at the end of your journey, you are just making one artwork and that's it. And you don't get, obviously I think you have to choose your theme from a list that Cambridge gives you. And then you have H3 art.
There's more.
Yes. But I do not know, I think there's only very few JCs that give H3 art. H3 art basically is the same thing from H2, your paper 1, paper 2, plus something called theory of arts, which I do not understand. And from what I see, it is basically they give you readings like, what is art?
So TOA.
Yeah.
TOA.
Or like aesthetics, an introduction to the philosophy of arts.
What?
So
Why?
I'm guessing it's more philosophical in nature. Yes. So this is my concluding thing is, should you take A-level arts
No.
or IB arts if
Neither.
you are interested in taking arts? Greg, shut up. And then if you did not take art in O-levels, should you take art if you like it? I know some people who took art in JC. Like I have a senior who already graduated. She took HL art from not taking art in secondary school, and she said it's a learning journey. It's an experience. And I know I saw somebody on Reddit one time. They said they took ALEM, H2 art, literature, econs, H1 math, and they did not take O-level art before. Then they're suffering. Oh, I do not know who you are, Redditor, but I remember reading it and going, oh gosh, oh gosh.
Why do you do that to yourself?
Yeah, so if you do not know, if you've not taken art before and you want to take art, it's possible. There isn't an aptitude test for my school. I know there are aptitude tests for AEP JCs where they offer A-level art, where you have to kind of write for the theory. But if you do not know theory like I did, I believe you can tell them that, oh, I've never studied the theory before, and it should be fine. Will you suffer? Yes, you will.
Wow.
Wow. So encouraging.
You will suffer. Because literally my schedule, both in Sec 3, Sec 4, and now is stay back for art, stay back for art, stay back for art. If you're free, you stay back for art. If you have break, you stay back for art. You go to the art room, your art room is your home. But that's not to sound discouraging, obviously. If you enjoy art and you enjoy what you do and you have passion for it, obviously I love it and I think it's fun. And it's something that I would not have traded for any other subject because I wouldn't. It's like top tier subject in my list. Anyway, if you want to take IB, which I personally prefer because you get to do so many more things. You get to actually learn the history. You get to do so many different artworks that you normally would not be able to do. For example, clay, fashion, textile. I have a senior who's doing graffiti.
Oh, that's
Like,
cool.
yeah, like spray paint graffiti. Yeah, and that's his studio. Stuff that you normally would not be able to do in A-level or O-level art. But if you prefer the structuredness of A-level art, like, it's just one piece and you don't have to stress about it. In my opinion, good for you, but you also have to factor in art is something, like with all of the arts subject like music, anything, there's something called burnout, creative. And your creative burnout really depends. If you have if it's very frequent and it really hinders you, then I would say maybe IB would be better because you get to move on to a new project, depending on how fast you are. But you're not stuck on one project all the time, which A-level does have. And A-level, I believe, is a very structured way of learning, so it doesn't give you a lot of freeway like I do in IB, where I get to choose the artists I want to look at and choose and explore in depth into what they do as an artist. I get to choose it, not Cambridge. Cambridge, no, not Cambridge, no, Cambridge doesn't choose it for me.
Cambridge is not in the equation here.
Yeah, Cambridge is definitely
But
not.
I think one thing that you have to take note if you want to take IB art is that you also have other things other than art. You cannot be doing art 24/7.
Well,
Who needs creative?
What do you
burnout when
mean
you're stuck in
well?
burnout?
You have your EE, you have your TOK.
my E is art though. My E is. Okay, no, you cannot be doing art 24/7. That's true. So if this goes for anybody, but especially for art students, excellent time management will help you. Excellent. Or at least good time management to the point where you are at least finishing your task on the deadline. You're submitting your task and you're not missing out and you're not putting things, because art does build up. It does build up and it becomes a backlog. And my friends are suffering because of that, because they don't do their comparative studies. They don't do the things, and next week is literally our submission deadline and they have not had the chance to let our teacher mark and see it. So it does build up. You have to be good at time management, know how to handle your priorities, do your work consistently. Yes.
Yes.
So yes.
Yes.
It's very sexy. I like
I don't know whether I'm concerned that Heather speaks from a perspective of such passion, or the fact that she
Why?
is taking art and suffering.
Okay, look, as I say, all artists are masochists.
You know what else? You know who else are masochists?
IB students.
No, HL math students.
I think you're less of a masochist.
Why?
Because you don't get to set your own paper. I'm setting my own paper technically. Anyways, I'm making my own artworks. You don't get to set your own paper.
Yeah, but the teacher sets it for us, then we die.
No, but I
Exactly.
make my like I said, the paper cut senior, his bird took him 1 year to complete. 1 year. Usually you cannot spend that much time on one studio, but because he was one of the people in the COVID batches, he could afford to spend that much time on one studio. Usually your studio should be done within 6 weeks.
What? That's a very big difference.
It's a huge difference. Spending 1 year on one studio will pull you down a lot. So, see, we create our own challenges, alright.
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 So IB isn't enough suffering, you just have to add more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually a masochist.
Whatever subject you take, you'll die lah. Let's just
Okay,
admit
to be
it lah.
fair, that's true. JC content is so thick right now. It's so much more than O levels.
Okay.
Except
yes.
for your language B. I love language B.
Okay.
Okay, yes, so we have come to the end of our episode about Group 6.
And before we end, can I ask something?
Yes.
I know you deleted it from the script, but is macaroni painting considered as a studio?
No, it's not. A studio has to be.
She can't answer the question. 'Cause she
Studio has to
knows
be.
it's right.
You have to be high. You have to be high in technical skill, and you have to actually have meaning to your hour. Actually have meaning to it.
I thought you give meaning to your hour.
What if I like carve little structures into my macaroni?
Okay, it
Okay,
depends
okay.
on what you're carving into your macaroni.
Think about
It's
it.
like, you know those people who carve into like pencil lead?
Yeah, you know the Instagram reels where they take like a microscope and they carve like little structures in their pencil.
Okay,
right?
think about it, right? That dude that you showed us, the guy with the small little abstract paintings. Just imagine those, but with macaroni.
If you're so interested, why don't you go and ask the art teacher? Oh my gosh, yeah, why don't you? It could be possible, but you have to make it very elaborate and you have to make it more complex. If you are an art student and you want to do macaroni painting, I would say make it a huge macaroni painting. At least A2 size.
A macaroni made out of macaroni.
Oh my goodness. But it has to have meaning, okay? It has to link to whatever you're writing about.
Two macaroni, you put together, makes a circle. It represents the circle of life.
Wait, have you seen the modern toilet art thing?
Modern toilet art.
Yes, I was going to use that.
Oh, dude, I'm using that for my TOK. I have to study this. This is not modern toilet art. It has a name. It's called Fountain.
It's so funny.
It's called Fountain by Marcel Duchamp, and it's one of the best conceptual
Okay,
arts.
we might need to cut some of this out.
Okay, you want me to actually educate you on what it is?
I think we should end the episode here.
No, but you actually, I love Fountain. Fountain is so cool.
You love urinals.
No, I don't. No, but the art.
Okay.
Okay.
No, can
and we
I
have
talk
come to the end of our episode.
Okay, wait, let me end this episode, then you can continue arguing. Okay, so yes, we've come to the end of our Group 6 episode, and please like, share, subscribe, give us feedback. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, Arielle, you sound like you're chasing them away.
Sorry, I'm not chasing you away. Continue. Please re-listen and re-listen and re-listen. Thanks.
What are you
a lot.
looking at?
Bye-bye. Okay, done.